Om Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye. So we just started seeing the 28th shloka in the previous class. We will chant that once. Please repeat once after me. Vrishahi Vrishabho Vishnuhu Vrishaparva Vrishodharaha Vardhano Vardhamanascha Vivikta Shruti Sagaraha. So this 28th shloka has 9 namas starting from 256th nama to 264th nama. And we saw 256th nama Vrishahi. We saw that Bhagavan in the form of Dharma is also the means for us to earn the punyam through dharmic actions. The punyam that translates into favorable situations in life and therefore leading to sukha anubhava, sukha prapti. Therefore, dharma through punya we saw is like a cloud. The cloud that is potential of raining, the dark cloud. Similarly, dharma is the cloud of sukha, which rains the blessings of sukha and through favorable situations. So that is Vrishahi. And there is another meaning also. Aha meaning day. Vrishahi. He is the one who is so bright that he blesses us with plenty of means of happiness. And another, the third one we saw is the 12-day yajna is called Vrishaha. And the Lord, he being the Lord of that 12-day yajna, he is called Vrishahi. 257th nama, Vrishabhaha. Vrishabhaha, Shankara says, Varshati yesha bhaktebhyaha karman iti Vrishabhaha. Because he showers his blessings on his bhaktas. He gives whatever they ask for. Whatever you ask for is granted by Bhagavan, and therefore Bhagavan is called Vrishabhaha. Now, if I need something from Bhagavan, if you have a question, really, he grants whatever I ask him. So, where do I go? How do you approach him to place your request? How do I go and ask him? Where is he? Where can I go and ask him? And the answer is the next nama, 258th nama, Vishnu. Vishnu occurs for 3 times in Vishnu Sahasranamam. We have already seen this nama as the second nama of Vishnu Sahasranamam. Vishvam Vishnurva Shatkaraha. So there we saw the meaning as the one who is not limited by time and space. That was the meaning given by Shankaracharya for the Nama number 2. This is Nama number 258. Here the meaning is Vishnuhu Vishnur Vikramanat iti Vyase Noktaha. Shankara is quoting Vyasacharya. He's telling he is called Vishnu. Vyasa says Vishnu is called Vishnu because Vikramanat. In Vamanavatara, he took the form of Trivikrama Rupa, and with one leg he strided through all the lokas. Right? So he strides through all the worlds, meaning he is all pervading. Where Bhagavan is all pervading, where Bhagavan is all pervading, now where should I go to ask him for blessings? Where do I need to go? You can ask him from wherever you are. He is already there in every form around you, and he is also the formless existence consciousness principle. So you ask him from wherever you are, and he is there to shower his grace on you. So that completes 258th Nama Vishnu. This occurs for one more time in Vishnu Sahasranama as the 657th Nama. Now 259, Vrishaparva. Vrishaparva. Vrishaparva means where he is referred to by the Shrutis and the scriptures as the ultimate abode or the ultimate destination for all the jivas. He is called Parandhama. Parandhama means reaching which destination there is nothing more to reach, attaining whom there is nothing more to attain. Meaning every other Purushartha is as though fulfilled, as though completed, as though accomplished. He is such an abode, such a destination. And then Shastram clarifies that reaching, the verb is in quotes, meaning reaching is not to be taken in its literal sense. Reaching means knowing or understanding. Reaching by way of knowing or understanding Bhagavan. Because he is really not separate from you, not different from you, for you to go and reach. And we have already seen that he is not subject to time and space. Where you say that Bhagavan is right now not here and I have to travel somewhere to some other loka to reach him, then you have understood Bhagavan to be somebody who is finite. If he is not you and he is not here, then you and the loka in which you are limiting Bhagavan. Right? While Bhagavan is not so. Therefore, by knowledge of Vishnu, he who is all pervading, he who is not different from you, Vishnu is said to be attained. And knowing whom, there is nothing further to be known. Bhagavan says this very beautifully in Bhagavad Gita. He says, Yajñatva na punarmoham evam yasyasi pandava yena bhutanyasheshena drakshyasyatmanyato mayi. I think this comes in the 4th chapter. Yat Nyatva, he says, hey Arjuna, knowing which, Punar Moham na yasyasi, you will never fall back into your delusion. And that is the knowledge of Ishvara. And what is the knowledge? He says the knowledge is Ena Bhutani Asheshena Drakshyasi Atmanyato Mayi. You understand that I am the one who is pervading the entire world. Ena Bhutani Asheshena. Without leaving an atom in this universe, I pervade each and everything in this universe. And understand that I am not different from you, you are not different from me. Drakshasi Atmanyato Mayi. For this knowledge to be gained, one has to submit himself to the systematic studies, to the systematic teaching methodology through a guru. Unless this happens, the knowledge of Bhagavan cannot happen. It may be an academic knowledge, it will not translate into an understanding in that person. So, for this, one needs a lot of punyam. A lot of punyam to have interest in studies, to want to continue, to want to know, to understand that the means of knowledge is the Shastram, and to have enough punyam to understand these facts and to take Shastram as pramanam and study under a guru continuously. We saw that a lot of punyam is required, and punyam is earned only through karma. Now we have something called Ishta karma and Purta karma. Ishta karma are otherwise called Shrauta karma, Veda Vihitam karma. The karma that is prescribed by the Vedas directly. And we saw the other one is Purta karma or Smarta karma. Smarta karmas are prescribed by the Smritis. It is not that Smarta generally we refer to the clan of the Brahmana community, no? Smarta and Vaishnava. It is not that Smarta. Smarta means Smriti, taught by the Smriti, revealed by the Smritis. So Rishis have come, they have elaborated the Vedas, they have explained, and we have various Smritis. Badarayana Smriti, then we have Yajnavalkya Smriti, Aitareya Smriti. We have a lot of Smritis that in our system, and these Smritis explain or expand the vision of the Veda. So, by doing the karmas that are specified in the Veda and the Smritis, Ishta karma and Purta karma, and the karmas can be by way of the instrument used for doing the karma can be Kayika, Vachika or Manasa. Through all this, one earns sufficient amount of punyam, Nishkama karma, sufficient amount of punyam. And again he has to do Shravanam. In case he has already done Shravanam and he did not understand, knowledge did not happen, then it means there is a deficiency in the punyam. Therefore, go back, do karma, gain punyam, come back and study again. Start studying again. You have to go through Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Thus, Bhagavan has given these steps. Bhagavan has given these steps. Shankara says, Vrisha Rupani Sopana Parvani Ahuhu Parandhama Arurukshoho Ityataha Vrisha Parva. Vrisha Rupani Sopana Parvani. He says, like a ladder, like steps, He has given you the means as to where to begin and how to proceed. The steps are the dharma that one has to follow. Dharma or vrisha. Vrisha is dharma. Vrisha rupani. Dharma rupani, you have the sopana parvani, meaning the ladder of or steps that are to be climbed. A mumukshu has to follow these for gaining punya and then follow the dharma of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Therefore, Bhagavan has given both the dharmas. He has given Pravarti dharma to earn punyam, and he has shown the way for Nivrti dharma for Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. And both these dharmas are given out by him to reach him who is the ultimate abode, Parandama. 260th Nama, Vrishodaraha. Vrishodaraha. One who reigns human beings, or one who reigns beings, jivas, from his womb. One who reigns beings, all beings, from his womb. He keeps continuously creating. Srishtikarta. And it rains from his wombs. His womb. You know, the global human birth rate per minute. It is said that there are 259 children born every minute in the world. So by now, from the time we began the class, it is 259 into 20 or 21. Even 1 minute makes a difference. And if you talk about, there is a study by MedIndia that the global animal birth rate is something like 4 lakh and odd per day. I don't know how they are able to count this, don't ask me. Okay? 4 lakh, I feel the number is understated. Should be more. Because, and I don't know what are the species that are covered in this definition of animal. I'm sure the honeybee wasn't covered. Because, as per science, every queen bee lays 1,500 eggs per day. Just imagine the rate of reproduction of bees, of mosquitoes, of all the microbes, bacteria, viruses. You know, more than 80% of the microbes are good microbes. We have only known of the bad side, right? That is very less. 80% of them are very good. They are the ones who make the fruit a fruit. They are the ones who make your yogurt the yogurt. Your idli dosa batter the way it should be. So without them, nothing happens in this world. You don't even get a banana without them. Right? So, all these lives are born, these jivas are born, and this is not only earthly jivas, also the heavenly, the celestial beings. And there are many more jivas under the sea than on the land. I am sure this does not factor, these numbers do not factor all of them. Who will go under sea and count? So, Bhagavan is Vrisha Udara. Udara means stomach. From his stomach, he rains beings. The punya of all the jivas is in his stomach. And according to each of their punyas, he gives them the body, a suitable body for them to take birth. And this term Udara, which refers to the stomach literally, is used in the context of Arani Mantanam also. Arani is a kind of a stone. Okay, there are two stones, one above, one on top of each other, and the stone below stays in place, it doesn't move, and the stone on the top is capable of moving. You churn the top stone. It is tied to ropes and it is churned, just like how in the olden days, no, the butter is extracted from the curds. So that is churned, and that friction produces sparks of Agni. So, Udara, when you say Udara Arani, it means it is used in the sense of the meaning potential. Agni is potential in the Arani. Similarly, when you refer to Bhagavan as Vrisha Udara, it also means that his grace is potentially available for all. Just that some people have tapped it and some people haven't. It is already available. One has to tap it to reap the benefit. That is 260th Nama, Vrishodaraha. 261st Nama, Vardanaha. Vardanaha means the one who nourishes all of us. He nourishes us, he nourishes the plants. And through the plants, he nourishes us. In the form of the sun, he nourishes us. He nourishes the whole world. Vardanaha. 262. Vardamanaha. Vardamanaha meaning one who is growing. He being in the form of this universe, and every being in this universe is growing, right? And he enlivens all of them, and therefore through all those beings he is as though growing. The continuation of this we can see in the meaning of the next Nama, in the 263rd Nama, Viviktaha. Viviktaha means he is distinct. So when we say he is Vardamanaha, he is growing, then there can be a possible question one may ask, so is he somebody who is subject to change? Because if he is growing, it means he falls under the Shadvikara, right? Asti, Jayate, Vardate, Viparinamate, Apakshiyate, Vinashyati. So does it mean that all the Vikaras apply to him? He is subject to change, he is subject to modification, which means the question is, then is Bhagavan Anityaha? The answer is no. Though he is Vardamanaha, as though Vardamanaha, he is Viviktaha. He is independent of the beings, the bodies. The changes, though he is the Adhisthana of the universe, the changes of the universe do not affect him. Just like how you, the waker, is the Adhisthana of the dream world. The changes in the dream world do not affect you, the waker, without whom the dream world cannot exist. Bhagavan is Nityaha. He is the Nitya Adhisthana of this entire universe. To understand this further, one has to study, as we already saw in just some time back, I think in Vrishaparva, we saw that one has to subject himself to systematic study with a teacher, with a Sampradaya teacher. So one has to study the Bhagavad Gita, he has to study at least 10 Upanishads and at least the first 4 sutras of Brahma Sutra. These 3 together are called Prasthanatraya and are the minimum basic scriptures that one have to study to attain the knowledge of Ishvara. Vishnu Sahasranamam will help you get there. But Vishnu Sahasranamam alone will not be enough, because the explanation given by these scriptures are very, very important. And Upanishad is the pramanam. It is the source, it is the means of knowledge for the knowledge of Ishvara. Without the study of Upanishad, your understanding of Ishvara will not be complete. 264. He is Shruti Sagaraha. Just like how all the rivers flow into the ocean, similarly, all the Vedas, all the scriptures flow towards him, meaning they reveal him. He is the Tatparya of all the Vedas, all the scriptures. Kathopanishad says, Sarva Vedaha Yat Padam Amananti. And in Gita, Bhagavan says, Vedaischa Sarvaihi Ahameva Vedyaha. I am the one to be known through the study of Vedas. All the Vedas came from him. All the Vedas reveal him. And this is indicated by saying that they, like rivers, run towards him. All the sounds, just like how a person, when you hear the voice of a person, you identify generally in your circle, your family, your friends. Just by hearing the voice, you know it is that person. And when that person goes to sleep, the voice, the shabda, also resolves in that person. And it comes back to manifestation once the person is awake. Right? Similarly, the entire Veda, which is in Shabda Rupa, resolves in him at the time of Pralaya and comes back to manifestation at the time of Srishti. So all the Vedas finally rest in him and then manifest from him. Therefore, the Shabda resolve into him who is the consciousness principle. Therefore, he is Shruti Sagaraha. That completes the 28th shloka. We move on to the 29th shloka. Subhujo Durdharo Vagmi Mahendro Vasudo Vasuhu Naika Rupo Brihadrupaha Shipi Vishtaf Prakashanaha. This 29th shloka contains 10 namas, 265 to 274. The 265th nama is Subhujaha. Shankara says, Shobanaha Bhujaha Jagad Rakshakara Asyeti Subhujaha. If you see the hands of people who are hard working, you will find it very rough, right? Very rough and tight. It won't be soft, especially people who are in the profession of the mechanics, always, using the tools and working. Their hands are very, very hard and rough. People who are given to a lot of hardship have rough hands because of the heavy work that they take up. The heaviest of all work in this world is taken up by Bhagavan. And the heaviest work is Srishti, Sthiti and Laya. He is continuously, he doesn't take any day off. He doesn't have a vacation. There are no weekends. So he is continuously in his work of Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. Just imagine how rough his hands should be. But on the contrary, though he is running, he is the only one who is running the entire show, his hands are not rough. His bhuja are shobanaha. Shankara says shobana, meaning very majestic, very, very attractive and handsome, but at the same time, they are very, very soft like the hands of babies. Have you touched the hands of babies? So soft. So just like that, Bhagavan's hands are very, very soft. Why? He is supposed to be doing all the work in the world. But Bhagavan says, really, I don't do anything. I don't do anything. And at the same time, without doing anything, what does he do? The Purana says that he lies down on the greatest spring cot in the Par Kadal, no? In the Milky Ocean, doing nothing. In his Hari Tuyil, he is always, asleep as though, with his consort Lakshmi Devi massaging his feet. And he doesn't wake up unless somebody comes and alarms of some problem somewhere and calls him to protect them. Right? So he does nothing, and he carries lotus in his hands. Because his hands are very soft, the lotus doesn't get heated up or dried. It always stays pink and fresh. Have you seen that? So, his hands are subhujaha, and still he does the greatest of all work in this world of running the show. 266th Nama, Durdaraha. Durdaraha will occur for one more time as the 715th Nama. Here, the meaning of Durdaraha is the one who cannot be held on to easily. You cannot hold on to Bhagavan easily. Shankara says, Dukkena dharayate. It is only with a great difficulty that a bhakta can hold on to a rupa of Ishvara. Meaning, at the time of meditation, you take any form of Bhagavan and you try to meditate on any one part of his, either his feet or his abhayahasta or his face, his eyes, his vakshasthala, any part that you try to meditate, you try to visualize and hold on. You will not be able to hold on to any one part of him. Your mind will immediately wander away. Then, how do I hold on to him? Now the question is, then what is the way I hold on to him? The answer is, if you observe, the only thing that is staying continuously is the thought that you have. Every thought stays for a given time, and there is only one thought at a given time. Therefore, it is only by understanding that the thought itself is Bhagavan. Bhagavan is in the form of every thought. It is only with this understanding that one will be able to hold on to Ishvara. Otherwise, in this creation, the entire Srishti, you take the earth, we have seen that the entire Srishti is made up of Panchabhutas, the elements. Or even if you are going to take the periodic table, the list of all chemicals, all the elements that make up the entire universe, all of them are held by, all the elements that hold the earth are held by Ishvara. It is because of him that they have their existence. And he, because of whom entire universe is held, how can you hold on to him? Therefore, he is referred to as Durdaraha. And we saw that the only way to hold on to him is by understanding that he is in the form of my own thought, my own mind, and he is the consciousness principle behind my mind, thought, and my senses and everything. 267th Nama, Vagmi. Shankara says, Yataha Nisrita Brahmamayi Vak Tasmat Vagmi. The one from whom the words of the Vedas have come. The one who has the capacity to communicate well through the usage of words is referred to as Vagmi, the skill of communication, one who possesses the skill of communication. Now, Bhagavan has a very great capacity to communicate that which is actually not a subject matter of Vak. It is something which is also not revealed by other pramanas, and he communicates that through the Vedas. That is why Vedas are special, because it gives you the knowledge. It is a source of that knowledge which is not acquirable. I don't know whether that word exists. Which you cannot acquire through any other source or means of knowledge. It is not available for your pratyaksha through your senses. It is when it is not a subject matter of your sense organs, it cannot be a subject matter of your inference or postulation, anumana or arthapatti. And Bhagavan, through the Vedas, communicates this knowledge. What is the knowledge that he communicates? He communicates himself as the Param Brahma through the words of Vedas, the Upanishads. And the Upanishad says, Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Yato vacho nivartante. He is something that words cannot reveal. Yata vacha anabhyutitam yena vag abhyutyate. Kenopanishad says, he is somebody who is not revealed by the words, but in fact, because of whom the words are capable of existing. The sense of Vak functions. He is because of whom your Vagindriya functions, and therefore something because of which your Indriya functions will not be an object of that Indriya. For example, it is because of the light that your eyes function and is capable of perceiving objects around. But the very light is or cannot be an object for your eyes. You cannot perceive light as an object by itself. It is only through other objects that your eyes can perceive or understand light. It is not directly perceivable. Similarly, he is the consciousness because of whom the very Vagindriyam functions. Otherwise, Vak will not be Vak. Alright, now, having said that, Upanishad saying that words do not have access to Brahman, then, even after saying that, Upanishad employs only words to reveal Brahman. How is that done? So the Guru, along with the Shastram, use a special method of communication. This is a very, very special method which is called as the Sampradaya, the teaching tradition, to reveal that which cannot be communicated. Meaning, it is not an object of communication, because whatever we have been communicating so long in our transaction, we always refer to some object or something that is different from us. We talk about anything that you talk about the object of discussion, is always different from you. Whereas, he being not different from you cannot be communicated in a normal way, because our minds are trained to understand, to perceive whatever you hear as something to be different from you. Right? Therefore, Upanishad employs certain special techniques. If you take some Upanishad, it will use the language of paradoxes. You will not understand why Upanishad is saying this, and again contradicting it itself in the very next statements. It says, Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. Apanipadaha Javano Grihita. Right? So these are, he does not have hands and legs, but he runs fast. So all these paradoxes are employed, these languages are employed, and if one takes to the translation of Upanishads by some author and just sits with the book, he is caught there. He will not be able to understand what is revealed by the Upanishads, because this language can be unlocked only with the help of a sampradaya, Acharya, because the sampradaya, the teaching tradition, the methodology is the key to unlock these paradoxes. And therefore, these words, the special method of communication Bhagavan uses through the Veda, Vedamayi Vak, the words in the form of Veda, they also come from him. Therefore, he is called, the words came from him, the Sampradaya is from him. That is why we chant Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmad Acharya Paryantam. So, all the words came from him. Also, the method of understanding, method of communicating has come from him. Therefore, he is Vagmi. 268. Mahendraha. Shankara says, Mahamscha asau indrascheti mahendraha. Ishvaranam api Ishvaraha. Generally, the word Indra we commonly use to refer to the boss of all the devatas, Devendra. But in Sanskritam, literally the word Indra means the Lord. We say Mrigendra. Mrigendra refers to the lion, the king of the jungle, right? And we say Swayameva Mrigendrada. Nobody needs to tell that this is the king. Just by his appearance, everybody knows it. Everybody acknowledges that he is the king. Right? So, Bhujendra, Gajendra. Gajendra means the king of elephants. So, Indra generally means the one who is the leader or the lord. And every loka has a leader, has an Indra. The Indra of Brahma Loka is Brahmaji. The Indra of Yamaloka is Yamadharmaraja. The Indra of Devaloka is Devendra. Now, what about Bhagavan? What Indra is he? He is Mahan Indraha. He is the Lord of all the lords. Devonke Dev Mahadev. Therefore, he is the Lord of all lords, and he himself does not have a lord. He is not overlorded by anyone else. He is the ultimate Lord. Mahendraha. 269. Vasudaha. Vasu means wealth, generally, and Vasudaha means the giver of wealth. Therefore, Shankara has written a very, very simple line. He says, Vasu dhanam dadati vasudaha. The one who gives wealth. Now, wealth meaning all forms of Vasu. All forms of wealth, power, security, fame, status, everything, all forms. Even children are considered to be wealth. So all forms of wealth, Bhagavan gives all Vasu, Bhagavan grants through one's karma. By way of karma pala, Bhagavan grants all the wealth to the jivas. 270. Vasuhu. He is Vasudaha, the giver of wealth, and he is Vasuhu itself. Now this nama already occurred as the 104th nama and will occur as the 696th nama. We have already seen this nama in 104. And there we saw that it has two meanings. One meaning is it refers to the Ashtavasu, one group of devatas, Vasus. And the second meaning is, Shankara says, all beings exist in him and he alone exists as the inner essence, the truth of all beings. So this meaning we saw for the 104th nama, Vasuhu. Here, as the 270th nama, Shankara gives three meanings. One who is in the form of the wealth itself. Because the previous nama was Vasudaha, the giver of wealth. The giver of wealth is Ishvara, and the wealth itself is also Ishvara. Diyamanam tad vastu api sa eveti vasuhu. So whatever is given, he alone is in the form of all the wealth that is given. Right? And the wealth is what? The devata of wealth is Lakshmi Devi. Therefore, Lakshmi Devi also is not different from Narayana. Right? It is Narayana himself in the form of Lakshmi Devi as well. Because he is the Vasuhu. The second meaning is Vasu. This word Vasu is derived from the verbal root Vas Dhatu. And there is a meaning for this root. Vas means it to cover or to dwell. To cover. Therefore Shankara says, Vaste achadayati. Vaste achadayati atmanaha swarupam mayaya. Shankara says, Bhagavan is called Vasu because he covers himself as though by his Maya. Maya, so is Maya bigger than Bhagavan? Because the cover has to be bigger than the Vastu to cover it. So are you saying, is Shankara saying that Maya is bigger than Bhagavan so that it covers him completely? No. Maya does not cover Bhagavan. Maya cannot cover Bhagavan. Then what does Maya cover? Maya covers our vision. That is why we feel that Bhagavan is not known to us. Maya, in the form of our Ajnana, Atma Ajnana, covers Bhagavan. The third meaning that Shankara gives is Vasu also means air. Because it has a special vasana, residence in the Antariksha. The air has a special residence in the atmosphere, in the Antariksha. Therefore, Bhagavan, who alone resides in the form of air that resides in the Antariksha, therefore he is called Vasuhu. So these three meanings have been given by Shankara for this 270th nama Vasuhu. 271. Naika Rupaha. Ekam Rupamasya na vidyate iti Naika Rupaha. Ekam Rupamasya na vidyate. Even though Bhagavan is one, he has assumed so many forms. He doesn't stay in one form. He assumes so many forms because he is the very material cause of the entire universe. That being so, then how can you say that Bhagavan or God is only in one form? And how can you question Sanatana Dharma as to why you have so many gods, so many forms? Obviously, we can add even some more. Why not? Because every form that we see and experience is nothing but His form. Every name that we hear is nothing but His name. Therefore, we worship every form as His form, every name as His name, and therefore we have so many devatas, so many Devi devatas. In so many forms we worship Him. People ask, why do you worship a stone? Yes, because the stone is not different from Him. Right? Otherwise, if you say Bhagavan is not in the stone, you are limiting Him. He is finite to that extent. Every part of this universe, he says, Bhagavan says, Yena bhutani asheshena, without exception. He fills this jagat without leaving a bit of it. Therefore, every form is His form. That is Naika Rupaha. 272. Brihad Rupaha. He, in His greatest form, is in the form of the entire cosmos, the Brahmanda. Being in that form, His Vishwarupa, He is Brihad Rupaha. And also in the avatars like Varaha, Matsya, Kurma, all these avatars, He had assumed a very big form. The Ekarupa itself, He assumed a very big form that He had to carry. You remember that picture in Varaha? He carries the Bhuloka on his... Yeah. So then at that time itself, Varaha Avatara occurred during the Vedic period, right? What the modern historians refer to as the Stone Age. It dates back there. So, all right, whatever you call it, even at that time, we here in the Sanatana Dharma have already known that the earth was spherical, right? That's why it's there. So, in all these avatars, He was the protector of the earth, and therefore to protect the earth from all other evil forces, what did He do? He took a form which is bigger than the earth to protect it. And again, in Vamana Avatara, in His Trivikrama Rupa, He measured the whole earth with His body, right? Therefore, he assumed a very big form. Therefore, He is Brihad Rupaha. 272. Shipi Vishtaha. Shipi Vishtaha. He is called Shipi Vishtaha because He has entered the rays of the sun. He has entered the rays of the sun. Shipi. Shipishu Nivishtaha, Shankara says. Shipi means the ray of the sun. And He is called so, Shipishu or Shipi, He is called so because water, Shi means water. And it is the sun rays that fall on the water. The sun rays, it is said that Shipihi. She means water, and that which drinks the water are the sun rays. It drinks the water by way of evaporation. It evaporates the water. Therefore, the sun rays are called Shipihi. In all the oceanic waters are sucked by the rays of the sun, evaporated, leaving the salt back into the ocean, evaporates only the water, right? The salt doesn't come in the evaporation process. And all the water rise up and they form the clouds, the rain clouds, and it is moved to the land and it rains. In the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Tapam yahamaham varsham nigrinnam yutsrujami cha. I am the one in the form of the sun rays who absorbs the water, who does the evaporation, and I store it as rain clouds and I am the one who moves the rain clouds to the land and showers it to the land. So I evaporate, I hold, and I give back the water. I pour it as rain. Again, the sun rays are very, very important for nourishing the earth, right? Otherwise, the earth will not be green. He nourishes the plants in the form of energy. He is the one who nourishes the plants. He nourishes us. Continuously, if you don't see sunrise, if you are not exposed to the sun, your mind, your body, everything will naturally become dull. And the moment you expose yourself to the rays of sun, you gain energy. That is why Surya Bhagavan in his Surya Namaskara, the namas, one of the namas is Pushane Namaha, the one who gives you energy, the supplier, the provider of energy. Again, I can't misquoting Gita. In Gita 15th chapter, Bhagavan says, Gama Vishyacha Bhutani Dharayam Aham Ojasa. Aham Dharayami Ojasa. I enter and pervade and nourish all the plants, all the beings with my energy. I supply my energy. I provide. I am the provider, the source of energy to all the beings. So, one may feel that it is nice to study Gita by listening to all these things. So, it doesn't mean that you are, you have lost something if you have not studied Gita until now. You may start studying. There is no problem. And it doesn't mean that those who have already studied Gita, have, yes, they have definitely had something worthwhile, but it is not, a matter of comparison where you see a person who has already gone through Gita and you feel inferior or small in front of them, right? So it could be something like they have studied Gita, but they don't even recollect all these quotes, okay? So it doesn't make a difference then. So that completes the 272nd Nama. And now we are into the 273rd Nama, which is the last Nama of this 29th Shloka. 29, huh? Oh, sorry. Okay, we have completed 273 and we are in the 274th Nama. Yeah. Which is Prakashanaha. Prakashanaha means one who illuminates everything. Shankara says, Sarvesham Prakashana Sheelatvat Prakashanaha. If your eyes are capable of perceiving any object, it is because of the light around which has lit up every object, so that your eyes have the capability to perceive them. Because if without light, eyes cannot perceive. Bhagavan in the form of all the sources of light, in the form of the Surya Devata, the Chandra Devata, the stars, the Agni, the Vidyut, the lightning. Okay, these 5 are the traditional sources of light that are referred in the scriptures, in the Upanishads. Today, of course, we have all the electrical sources also. You may include them also, because we did not have them at the time of the Vedic period, so that has not come in the Upanishads. We can include all of them. It is Bhagavan in the form of every source of light who illuminates the object around, the world around you, so that your eyes are capable of seeing. Therefore, the one who illuminates everything, Prakashanaha. That completes the 29th Shloka. We will take up from the 30th Shloka in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Just a couple of announcements. The first announcement is our next class will be on next week, same time. There is no additional class from now on unless we get to know about the availability of our hall. So this is the first announcement that I wanted to remind you of, which we already shared in the previous class. The other announcement is we had a batch of small children who had been studying Mahabharata, Yuvakendra children who had been studying Mahabharata. We had children from the age 4, 5 until the age 25 who were part of this group, and they have completed studying one round of the 1 lakh shlokas, the content of the 1 lakh shlokas of Mahabharata. It took 2.5 years for us to complete the classes, and we have our Samarop function next Sunday morning. We have India time. We have on the 6th of July. India time morning 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So all those of you who are here, please make it convenient to attend the function. It is planned to happen, it is scheduled to happen in a hall called Tattvaloka, which is in Eldams Road. I will have the invitation, which is handmade by our children, to be shared in our group, and we will also share the address of the location. So please make it convenient to attend the function and bless the children. And the presentation is going to be in 3 parts. The presentation is going to be, the first part of the presentation is Priya Katha Kathanam, my favorite story from Mahabharata. The children are going to take 2 minutes each to narrate their favorite part. This is the first part. The second part is a Natakam. The name of the Natakam is Naha Shreyase Bhuyat, meaning let the greatest of goodness, let us be blessed with the greatest, the noblest. This Natakam is not an enactment from any of the scenes in Mahabharata, but it is on the importance of Mahabharata, why one should study Mahabharata, and the controversies that generally, some of the controversies that are there on Mahabharata, that it is a mythology, and why did Krishna use unfair means to, in the war, to win the war. There are so many things like that. And in the name of caste, there were so many unfair things that happened to Karna and Ekalavya. Is that all fair? Isn't that racism? Isn't that separating, dividing people? And all these controversies blames are there on Mahabharata. So, in a way of addressing these controversies and resolving and paving the way of right understanding of Mahabharata, this Natakam has been designed, and the children will be the heroes of this Natakam. And then the third part is Prashnottara of Bhagavad Gita. As part of Mahabharata, children have studied the entire Bhagavad Gita, all the 18 chapters, and how we have learned Bhagavad Gita as part of Mahabharata is, we understand, we know the importance of Bhagavad Gita, why one should study Bhagavad Gita, and the Mahatmyam, the greatness of Bhagavad Gita, that we have studied. And what we have studied is all the names of the 18 chapters, and then the content of each chapter we know as 3 points. We will be able to give you a gist of every chapter. Suppose you are asking what is the content of the 9th chapter, we will be able to say the name of the 9th chapter is Raja Vidya Rajaguhya Yogaha, and yes, point 1, 2, 3, this is the content, this is the gist of 9th chapter. So that is how we have studied, and therefore we will be there on the days for presentation, and the people who attend the Mahabharata Samarop will be the ones who will question, who will give the test. Okay, because in those days, children who study in Gurukula used to go to the Raja. The Guru will send them to the Raja, and the Raja will question, will test the child, and will give lot of gifts to the child. And because being a child, he does not have a source of Guru Dakshina, he takes whatever the Raja gives and he gives it entirely as Guru Dakshana to his Guru. So how we have planned is, being democracy today, the Praja is the Raja, and the ones who come there and question have to be fit Praja, meaning they should have first studied Bhagavad Gita, only then they can question, right? So all those students who have studied Bhagavad Gita, we have invited from various schools, and of course their friends, relatives and others can also join in along with children, and they can ask questions and we will answer. So you are not allowed to ask out of syllabus, okay? So this is the syllabus and you are supposed to ask within the syllabus, and we answer, and then we will come to you with our bowls and you give us the bhiksha, so that we are able to pay our Guru Dakshana. And whatever is given to the Guru as Guru Dakshana, the Guru will be using it for the entire function. So we have bought a lot of gifts for children, including medals in silver and real silver, okay? So, and we have the expenses for the entire function, and food for all, lunch for all. So it's been planned in a very grand way, and whatever is going to be your contribution will be used for the function, for this great yajna, the Mahabharata Samaropa. So welcoming once again all of you to this function which is called Naha Shreyase Bhuyat, and with a prayer that this Shastram should bless you all with the highest, which is called Shreyas. Hari Om.